Welcome back to the Fantasy Bros, coming at you with the rest of the season running back rankings, risers and fallers. Joe, we'll start with you. Who do you have rising?
Zeke. I like how he played. I like everything he did with Dalton coming back. He had 101 yards, 106 yards.
Great game.
First 100-yard game. I like how he played.
And a touchdown.
The entire offense looked better, way better with Andy Dalton running it. It's interesting to say how, because earlier in the season he sucked, and we're still missing Dak, but
with Dalton back, and again, he did have a favorable matchup against the Vikings, and he does have a very tough schedule. So we'll see what he does going forward.
Yes,
I like that as a riser. For me, a riser, Derrick Henry. He's one overall for me. He had a great game, 28 yards. Matchup proof. 28 yards on the ground, 133 yards and a touchdown. I mean, we saw that when the Titans stick with Henry and they give him the workhorse. He just wins games for you and for your fantasy team as well. And he has the most favorable fantasy matchup in the playoffs by far amongst all these running backs, and that's why he's number one. Who do you got rising, Zach?
I have Chris Carson. He didn't play yet, so he's not completely proven, but his matchups are just phenomenal, and he's put up numbers when he's been in, and the Seahawks need to win every single game if they want to potentially have a bye.
Absolutely. Let's go to another riser. I have Ezekiel Elliott as well, but Joe said that, so I'm going to go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's at 19 for me, but he did have a fantastic game. He rushed for, I believe, like 70-plus yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and he was involved in the passing element.
Bulk of the carries.
And if they look, he's proven that when he's given the keys to the backfield, he can take over and he can be very, very productive. So going forward, I like him a lot. He does have a tough schedule, but I don't think that'll be a problem with Clyde. So if you have him, you're good. Who do you have as another riser, Joe?
You just listed off my last two with Henry and Helaire. Otherwise, Ekeler coming back soon, he's at 13 for me. I like him going forward. Balaj he's been productive, nothing spectacular.
Not Ekeler productive.
I think he's going to take away some targets.
I don't know about that. We said that about Mike Davis, and that didn't happen. So I think Ekeler is going to be.
If you held on to Ekeler for this long, I mean, some leagues have him on waivers, which is shocking.
Really.
But if you held on to this long, don't worry, you're gonna.
This guy was like a second rounder for you.
You're gonna benefit from it.
He's gonna do well.
He's gonna turn up in the playoffs,
especially with Herbert.
Zach, you have another riser?
Has he ever played with Herbert, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if he has.
I don't know, but no, yeah, I think he has. Even if he has, he benefits a lot more.
If he has, that was probably his best game with him, because I think the last game he played before he got injured.
While Joe's getting that, we'll go to Zach's next riser.
I mean, they stole basically all. I mean, we agree on all the risers. So I'll move on to faller. If Max wants to go back to riser, he'll go back there. I have Kareem Hunt. He does not produce yards. He only gets goal line carries right now, and he just didn't produce numbers. He was given three goal line carries, and he only, I think maybe even 4, and he could get it on the 4th try. I think that was pretty sad, if you ask me.
I mean, the goal line carries are promising though, because he has a safe floor with those goal line carries, because they get there a lot with Chubb running the ball. So I mean, he wasn't productive this game, but he definitely fell for me also. But I think he could play well the rest of the season. He has a good schedule in the playoffs.
He has a great schedule, which is why Chubb rose up for me. But now I'm going to talk about a faller in Alvin Kamara. He's the number 1 overall running back on the season, but unfortunately with Drew Brees' absence, he didn't play well at all last game. He didn't have 1 catch. We know Kamara as the most targeted, most catching backfield in football, but with Taysom Hill at the helm, it doesn't look good for Alvin Kamara's fantasy outlook. But again, he is Alvin Kamara, so that's why he's still at number 4. What do you got next, Joe?
So I got J.D. McKissic taking a fall, going from 14 and 15 targets in back-to-back weeks to getting 4 targets and not even eclipsing 10 points in PPR league.
Yeah, Gibson looked like the much better back.
Yeah, Gibson looked like the better back, and he was a wide receiver out of college, so he looks like he could be the better receiving back also. So it's a little scary to start him. It sucks because he looked great for 2 weeks, but
in great matchups for sure.
Yeah,
he'll get those targets.
Don't drop him. Definitely.
Yeah, hold on to him for sure. He's a good waiver ad. Another faller for me is James Robinson. He had a decent game. He had 17 carries for like 73 yards, but because of his really, really tough schedule, I think he'll just fall just a little bit. He plays. I'm not sure who he plays.
He's a tough schedule going forward.
It's very tough, but if you have him, you got to start him because the running backs they're very depleted. But he is a faller for me. I have him at number 9.
Yeah. I have Giovanni Bernard and Joe Mixon. Depending on who's the starting running back.
I don't think Joe Mixon may not even return with that. They're doing so bad.
Exactly. So with the horrible injury to Joe Burrow, that whole team I think it's hard to start anyone on the team. Their quarterbacks are garbage, and Giovanni Bernard, even with Joe Burrow, didn't produce any numbers, so I don't even know if he's a start going forward.
So just a quick update. Austin Ekeler, the first week he underperformed. He didn't even have 10 points in a PPR game in a PPR format, but week 2 is where Herbert took over and he scored 19 points. PPR, he got 16 carries, 93 yards, 4 receptions, 55 yards, and then in week 3 he went off, and both games with Herbert in, he had 12 carries, 59 yards, and a rushing touchdown. He had 11 targets, 11 receptions, and 84 yards. That usage is unreal, and we can hope for that when he comes back. So he looks good for the rest of the season.
And a couple other notable names. David Montgomery, even though he hasn't been productive, his schedule looks incredible. So if you have him, you could just hope for him to be more productive with the carries he gets. Raheem Mostert coming back from injury. Hopefully he does well. I have him at 20 for me. And Christian McCaffrey is number 2. We know what he can do when he's healthy. McCaffrey. He's Christian McCaffrey. Nothing else to say. Dalvin Cook I have at 3. Aaron Jones at 5. His schedule is phenomenal, and he's a fantastic back, as we saw earlier in the season. And then I got Chubb, Josh Jacobs, and then Austin Ekeler. And then from there, what do you guys have going from 1 to 5?
I still have Kamara at 1. I think they're gonna, with the absence of Drew Brees, I think they need to push harder to maintain the number 1 spot in the conference. So I don't think he takes much of a hit, even though he didn't produce. I think it was a pretty boring game for him.
But 1 overall, though, it's pretty ballsy.
Henry at number 2.
Even over Dalvin, you really think over the production Dalvin's been having?
Henry at number 2. His schedule is phenomenal. Cook, because he cooks. Nick Chubb is number 4 for me.
Nick Chubb over McCaffrey.
McCaffrey, when he comes back, I think he's number 1, but he's not back, so
okay.
I didn't rank him.
Nick Chubb over Jacobs.
Nick Chubb is number 4. He produces numbers, and I think they're going to start handing it off to him in the goal to go.
Owner, so.
Why would they do that, by the way? I just disagree. Because he's a smaller back, though.
Because Hunt does not produce in the goal line. He got a touchdown on 4th down. It was horrible. I have Jacobs at number 5 because he gets so many rushes, and he should have had 2 more touchdowns this week. It was disappointing, but they had different plays dialed up.
Where is Aaron Jones for you?
Aaron Jones is right behind him at number 6.
And Zeke?
Number 7.
And also, I think DeAndre Swift, when he comes back, he has a phenomenal schedule, and he looked like a good workhorse back. So when he comes back,
he's my 10 as well.
He's a dark horse candidate to finish in the top 5 rest of the season. So look for that there. That wraps it up for the rest of the season running back rankings. Again, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, help out the channel, help us grow.
Until next time.
And we will help you guys out. Until next vid, thank you for watching.